Good morning. It's not just, and now it's just about 10 o'clock right now. So welcome back to another Monday morning mind stretch. How you doing today, Jake? Hi, good morning. Good to see some usual students checking in this morning. Good. Wonderful. Hi, good morning. I hope you all enjoyed the weekend. Saturday was beautiful. I hope you spent some time outside. Hey, Dylan. Hey, how's it going for all of you? Hi. All right. So this morning I have a story with holes for you. I thought since the past couple weeks you've been solving these things pretty quickly, I should up my game a little bit and come up with something a lot harder. So I found something. Here it is. It's a story with holes. Once again, if you're new to the Monday Morning Mind Stretch, you're going to use the live chat feature to ask your yes or no questions to try to lead us all to the answer. All right. So here is the story with holes. It's called The Magic Maguires. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? I'll read it one more time. Okay. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Is it something to do with their mom's name? No. Is it something to do with their birthday? Yes. Yes, I will repeat it. Okay, the four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Is it a law or something? No. Were they playing a video game? No. Was their birthday magical? No. So just to kind of paraphrase and wrap it up a little bit, to kind of wrap your head around it, I'll repeat it. So we have four girls. They're quadruplets. Their mother claimed that they had magical powers and posted this apparently on the internet. And she promised to prove her claim that her quadruplets were magical on their birthday. And the whole world watched, so she showed this proof on the internet. What was the proof? Can they do magic? The answer is no. Does it have to do with when their birthday was? And the answer is yes. Does it have to do with magical powers? No. Is it something they did? It is something they did. Sure, I'll repeat it again. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Were they born in a leap year? Irrelevant. Well, were they born on the same day? Well, they were quadruplets. So, yes, they all have the same birthday. Were they born on New Year? No. I don't know what that question is. Did they all get... Does it have to do with the date? Yes, it does. So let's follow the yeses. Let's post something in the live chat that you know the answer is yes. So we've already repeated that, yes, it does have to do with the date of birth. So I'll read it one more time because there's some questions I think we can have answered if we just listen to the story. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Okay, were they born on a holiday? That's irrelevant. Were they actually claimed by her? I think the riddle is basically telling us that Marcy posted her claims on the internet. So it sounds like their mother is claiming that they have magical powers. Yes, a lot of people watched. Yes. Were they all different heights? That's irrelevant. So she didn't give birth to them. I doesn't say anything about that in the riddle. It says they're quadruplets and their mother is Marcy. So I believe the answer to that would be yes, she did give birth to them. Does it have to do with their names? No, it doesn't. It could be named anything and the answer would still be the same. Oops. I'm sorry, Casey. I just accidentally muted you. Okay, I'll repeat their names again. Their names are irrelevant, just to repeat that. Their names are Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne. So the name of these kids is irrelevant. Doesn't really matter what their names are, but I'll read the riddle one more time. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. So does it have to do with the date? I did answer that question already, and it does have to do with the date. I have to unlock my back door. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. What year is their 12th birthday? That's irrelevant. Was it important that they were 12? I don't know, honestly. I don't know if that's relevant or not. I'm just, oh, there's my daughter walking in as we're here live. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't really, I think that basically, and no, I don't think it matters that they were 12. Thanks. That's beautiful. Thank you. All right, I'm going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to see if we can kind of get to the answer together. The four Maguire girls were quadruplets who claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. So what do we know about this magical power? Is it something that you have to be present in order to witness? Let's think about that magical power. So the answer to somebody asked, do they have powers? Right. So you're exactly right. No, you don't need to be in the presence of these quadruplets in order to witness whatever it is that their mother is claiming is a magical power. The question that I see here is, do they have powers? The answer is no. So whatever it is that Marcy is putting on the internet on their 12th birthday is something that I think anyone can do. So let's be thinking about that. This is something that anybody looking at it would believe Marcy, right? They would believe her claim that her quadruplets have these magical powers. But if you were present and you actually saw it face to face and you were actually physically there, you might not have that same opinion. So do they have a magic themed birthday party? Nope, this is not a play on words or a trick question, but that's a great question. So I want you to be thinking about it. What sense do you think Marcy is exploiting in order to support her claim? Right, there's some kind of an optical illusion, right? Something visual that's happening. So be thinking about something that you can see, that whatever the proof is that she's showing them is something that you can see that would support her claim. What is it that she's telling the world her quadruplets can do? that she's able to prove visually on the internet. There's something that she's telling the world that they can do. Does it matter that they were quadruplets? Not really. I don't think it really matters. Does it have to do with a mirror? The answer is no. Are they identical? Irrelevant. Are they being super caring and kind to everybody? I think that's irrelevant. Can they eat fast? I don't think that's relevant. It's not relevant that they are identical. I don't know. Is it a video? So she's showing them something. Yes, she must be showing them. I'm assuming it's a video, but the story doesn't say. It just says the internet. So when you're showing something on the internet, it's usually something you can. Yes, the date does matter, Abby. The date matters. So let's follow the yeses. Let's recap and rethink this. Okay, what do we know so far? Let's post some facts in the live chat. What is it that you know so far? What is the date of their birthday? Well, that's not a yes or no question, so I can't answer that, but we do know that the date is important. On the 13th, I'm not sure that that's relevant. I think you're a little too specific with the actual date. Maybe we need to think a little bit bigger. Are there certain times of the year when you might see something different than other times of the year? Right, we know that the date matters. What else do we know is a yes? Were they born on the 4th? So again, when you're coming down to the number of the day, we've got 12 months in a year. So I don't know if we should really be pigeonholing yourself into the number of the day. Is it a different season? You're on the right track, and I'm not sure how to answer that question because I don't know what different means to you. Were they born in winter? Yes, they were born in the winter. Does something's color change? No. Is it a solar eclipse? No. Is it a blood moon? No. Okay, let's revisit this story one more time. Let's listen. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Did it snow? I don't know. Is it a winter solstice? It's not winter solstice. Did it snow every birthday? I don't think so. I think that's irrelevant. Is it where they live? Yes, that is important. Where they live is important. Did something change? I don't know. Nothing changed on, I don't know, maybe. I honestly don't. We'll call that irrelevant. Did they live in the US? Yes, they did. Do they live in a house? Yes, I assume they live in a house. I don't know from the information that I see in this story with Hulls. Do they live in Salem? And the answer is no. Did they live in Maine? The answer is no. Did it never snow? I don't know if it snowed. That's irrelevant. Do they live in Alaska? The answer is no. Did it ever snow where they lived? It does snow where they live. Do they live in New York? The answer is no. So why do you think it's important to know where they live? Do they live in New Jersey? The answer is no. They don't live in Arizona. They don't live in Colorado. So we don't know where they live might be important. Okay. So well, then why would we ask that? Okay, climate. Good, Dylan. That's it. That you want to think climate. Okay, so there's something that you can see, right? You've already figured out that this is a video or something that Marcy is posting on the internet. That if you're watching it, you might believe that these quadruplets have magical powers. But if you're actually there, maybe you won't believe that. Okay, so let's revisit this story with holes. I'm going to read it one more time. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Northern Lights? Nope. I honestly, let's think about that because we know what Northern Lights are, right? So if you saw that in a video and it happened to be that their daughter's 12th birthday, there probably wouldn't be anything if we were watching it, right? Let's put ourselves in the perspective of her audience, right? If she went live on her daughter's 12th birthday and we saw something on that birthday that would convince us that her daughters have magical powers, what is it that we might be seeing? What would the proof be? It was their, okay, were they born outside for some reason? I don't think that's relevant because they're 12 years old. Were they born on Christmas? No. Did the weather change constantly? I think you need to be more specific with that question. I'm not really sure how to answer it. Did they act like they did something but didn't? Oh, good question. No, they actually did do something. They actually did do something. It was proof that supported Marcy's claim that her quadruplets had magical powers. So what is it that we would be able to see on the internet that would look pretty magical? Backflips. Well, that would be magical if I could do them, right? But okay, did they fake snow? No. Great question, though. Did all the snow melt? No. Was it actually their birthday? Well, that's actually irrelevant in this case. Based on the story, it sounds like it is their birthday, but I don't think that really matters. Did they use science? I don't know what you mean by that. Did they use editing? Great question. The answer is no. It was, you can assume they went live. So there was no editing. They actually did something. Was it the day of the week? So you're asking if the day of the week matters. Is that correct? If the day of the week does not matter. Did they move something? No. Did they take a hose and acted like it rains? No, the answer is no. Did Marcy lie when she said her daughters were magical? Yes. So the question came up, did they live in Greenland? And I've already answered that. We know that they live in the United States. Does it matter which state they live in? Yes. Was there a shooting star? Great question, but the answer is no. It would be very hard to predict that. So let's think about that, because Marcy said that she would prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthday. So that means that she knew she would be able to do something. Are they even real? Yes, they are real. Oh, well, I mean, in the riddle, they're real. This is probably fiction. Were there moving objects? Not objects, no. They weren't moving objects. The 4 Maguire girls were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthday. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Did the mom actually prove it? The answer is yes. Did they do an illusion? I don't know how to answer that to get you to the right answer. It's not an illusion. People watching would have actually seen something real, so they weren't putting any kind of optical illusion on there. However, if you're not there, if you're not actually physically there, you're going to be witnessing something different than if you're actually present. Are they magicians? The answer is no. Are they trained magicians? No, nothing magic that only these quadruplets can do. Do they have powers? The answer is no. Did their magical ability have to do with the weather? Are you asking if they affected the weather, or are you asking if the weather affected their ability to do their magic? It has to do with the date, the weather, and where they lived. Yes, that is correct, Rosio. That's right. If they affected the weather, okay, so they do not have any effect on the weather. You're blank. Okay, well, if you're feeling blank, then let's hone in on one part of this story. Let's focus on something that you know the answer is yes. Okay, so for example, we know the answer is yes with regard to the date of their birthday. So let's see if we can kind of narrow that down. Let's follow the date. let's think broad. You want to think broad and try to narrow yourself down to the right answer. When do you think the date would affect somebody's ability to show that they're able to do something magical? What does the weather have to do with proof? Right, that's what I'm asking you. So let's find that. Was it a full moon? It's irrelevant. The phase of the moon is irrelevant, and the cosmos are irrelevant. So, were they born in winter? Yes, they were born in the winter. Right. So we're just recapping. That's right. So yes. So let's narrow it down. When do we believe their birthday might be? Let's pick a day or a month when we think their birthdays might be. Does it have to do with the temperature? Yes, it does have to do with the temperature. So we're going to pick a time of the year when we think their birthday might be, and then we'll follow another yes and see if we can narrow that down. January, Sreejan, that's exactly right. Their birthday is in January. So now we know their birthday is in January. Okay, let's follow the next yes. All right, let's follow the next yes. The next yes was, do they live in the United States, or does where they live affect their ability to prove their answer? Okay. So let's see if we can narrow down where this is taking place. So they don't live in Alaska. Somebody's asking if they live in Alaska. We're going to narrow down where they live. We already know that they live in the United States. Okay. So let's think about the month of January, and let's think about where in the United States the weather might impact whether somebody might have the ability to prove a claim of magical powers. Was it one of the 13 original colonies? The answer is no. Does it matter how many people performed the trick? Great question. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, as many people as you want could do it. Do they live in Oregon? No, they don't live in Oregon. Fairbanks is in Alaska. We've already said that they don't live in Alaska. Does it matter about the state? Not necessarily the state. That doesn't really matter, but the geographical location does matter. So if you get the state right, then you'll have an idea of what happens in that region of the country. Does it have to do with the timeline? You mean okay, with the time. So I don't think it matters what time of day, as long as it's happening on their birthday in this specific state. Do they live in a large populated city? Irrelevant. Does it matter what the parents' job? Nope, irrelevant. Do they live in the north? I guess you're asking if they live in the northern part of the United States, and the answer is yes. Do they live in a rural area? Irrelevant. Does it have to do with the northern lights? No, it does not. Nothing to do with the cosmos, nothing to do with the phase of the moon. So the geography is important and the date is important, but it doesn't, nothing to do with the cosmos. So let me reread. I'm glad that you think this is hard, because the last couple of weeks we were getting these answers in like 5 minutes. We're on to 34 minutes already. Okay, I'm going to reread this. Okay. So the four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Abby's asking, was the temperature below freezing? Yes. It was not Maryland or Delaware, no. Did water turn to ice? Yes. Okay, so let's unpack. We know they were born in January. Did they make something freeze on command? No, no. Because remember, they don't actually have real magical powers, right? Does it have to do with frost? No, it does not have to do with frost. Was the proof that they survived in winter below freezing? No. Did they unfreeze something? Nope. Let's table the time and location for a second and see if we can unpack another part of this riddle. Okay, another sentence in this story with holes says, Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. So that word consistently tells us something. Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. So what does that tell us? Always ridiculed, right? So that means to me, when you hear something is always ridiculed, we're not talking about a one-shot deal, right? We're not saying I'm going to go live and show you that my quadruplets can do magic. It's telling us something else, right? It's telling us that this is something that she does a lot. She probably posts these videos frequently on the internet. And since they are consistently ridiculed, it looks like she's got people watching and she finally wants to prove whatever this is real. So that's when she says she promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthday. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. Okay, right. So people did not believe what Marcy said, right? Did she post every year on their birthday? Great question, Dylan. And I don't actually know the answer. I don't think she went live on their birthday every year. Their names are Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, but their names are irrelevant. We could call them, Ryan, Rosio, Jake, and Dylan. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's follow the yeses. Do they live in the same house? Irrelevant, but I assume they do. Let's follow the yeses. If you haven't asked a question yet, I'd love to see you post one. Did Marcy edit the video before she posted it? Which video, Rocio? Which video do you think she may have edited? Because I don't know how to answer that question. On their birthday, she did not edit anything. Whatever she did on their birthday was live. Did they tell what they were going to claim? Yes. I'm guessing you're asking if they proved what Marcy claimed her kids could do. The one for their 12th birthday. Okay, got it. Did they live in Michigan? Not in Michigan, but you're getting closer. They could live in Michigan for this for this proof to be available to them. Was it a hobby? This is not a hobby. Did they live in Indiana? No. Did they border the Great Lakes? Yes. Yes, very good. They lived in Minnesota. Okay, so they live in Minnesota. Their birthday's in January. All right, shall I reread it one more time? Was there a blizzard? No, there was no blizzard. The four Maguire girls, Sadie, Nova, Taryn, and Joanne, were quadruplets who were claimed to be magical by their mother, Marcy. Mother Marcy's claims were consistently ridiculed on the internet. Marcy promised to prove her claims on her daughter's 12th birthdays. As the world watched, Marcy displayed proof for all to see. What was the proof? Ozio, you got it. They were walking on water. Did they walk on water? Yes, they walked on water. Okay, so yeah, it was ice. I think Rosio is the first one who got it. So if I were in your classroom right now, I would make you stand on the chair and retell the whole story. And so since we're not in the classroom and it takes a long time to type in the live chat, I will retell the story for you with the holes filled in, okay? So Marcy announced that her four daughters would walk on water on their 12th birthdays. And living in Minnesota and being born on January 11th, walking on water on their 12th birthday was easy for them. The water outside in the frigid winter in Minnesota was hard ice. So great job, good going. Thank you for joining me. This morning's Monday morning mind stretch was really long. We're on to 43 minutes and you guys stuck it out. So give yourselves a pat on the back. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you haven't already checked out this week's assignment that I posted in the enrichment and extension classroom, I invite you to do that. This week, I am building butterfly houses with my kids and putting them in my pollinator garden. Great job, Rocio. Yes, you got it. Very good. I'm very proud of you. Okay. I would love to connect with you on the Flipgrid and see your faces and hear your voices and see what you're doing. Where I live today, the weather is cold and rainy and gross and crummy. I don't know what it's like in Holmdel, but I hope it's better than here in Cranberry. So anyway, no, you were right. You got it. Congrats. I hope that you take a look at that enrichment activity, and I hope that I can hear from you on Flipgrid. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.